People with a higher capacity of self-fueled responsibility to empathise with others have a greater risk of compassion fatigue. And you have to be very careful working in a dementia unit not to become influenced by this, because burnout can be high working in such places. So working in a dementia facility to prevent compassion fatigue, you need to make sure that you keep your energy high, that you don't become emotionally exhausted, and you have to and need to keep up your motivation. And in particular, it really is that emotional resilience at the end of the day that makes all the difference, because you can't afford to be depressed, anxious or angry working in a dementia unit, because if you come in with that attitude, for sure it will be triggered when you come into the unit. Someone will say something, there'll be distress and disturbance, and that will flick you into an emotional state. So you've got to really make sure to have that emotional equilibrium is really needed to work in a dementia facility, and then you're much less likely to be subjected to compassion fatigue. Now, where I worked, the units that I worked at in the main here in New Zealand, there were Filipino staff. I worked with Filipino staff for many years, and they had the most remarkable, formidable work ethic that I have ever experienced or witnessed in my entire life. I actually couldn't believe it. I mean, the speed, the efficiency, the effectiveness, the care, the vigor, remarkable. So it was really a pleasure and a privilege to be able to work with these people. They were compassionate and kind and efficient at the same time. It was just really a whole mechanism of mobilization, which certainly our culture, Kiwi culture, doesn't have. I mean, we expect our breaks, we expect our cups of coffee, we like to go and walk in the park at lunchtime, have our holidays. No, Filipino staff, it's not that work is their life, but in a sense they integrate it into their life. They do double shifts, they help each other out. If someone's sick, they'll cover the shift, they'll bring food if someone's unwell. They just, when they have a birthday party, their own birthday party, they will shout food for the whole entire unit. Whereas in New Zealand, if it's your birthday party, others will take you out to dinner. It's just a complete contrast. And I just found it was really, it was just such an interesting experience, and I learned so much to be able to witness staff and people working so hard in a sustained manner without a break and still have that emotional resilience to be kind, caring and compassionate. Remarkable. And I don't really know the answer to it entirely, but I think it's their faith, their Christianity, their teamwork, their cultural work ethic. There's a whole lot of things mixed into there which enable the Filipino staff to not be subject to compassion fatigue, which seems to be a lot more common in the Kiwi culture. So what I've deduced it to be really in the main is the emotional resilience plays a really big part. If you let any form of emotional stress, anxiety or depression weigh you down from your private life and bring that into your work in a dementia unit, it will be triggered and flicked so quickly, because emotions are high in dementia units. There's disturbance, there's falls, there's fights, there's all sorts of anxieties going on. So when you come in, it's not like a quiet working place, work office, where you just sit down at your desk and quietly tap away at your computer and, mind your own business. You're coming into a full-on, fully fueled emotional hub. And so if you've got any heightened emotional activity going on in you, it will be flicked up to high. So that's why this emotional steadiness. So you need to pay attention to food, exercise, hydration, sleep, having good relations. All the requirements need to be there. You really need to be in a good space, actually. Cup half, cup full rather than cup empty. You do need to be in a good space to work in a dementia unit, but the rewards are high. If you can manage to get through it, The rewards are high. You get so much from working in such a place. I've written about this in the 2 books I've written, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise. Everything in the description below. Thank you for your viewing, likes and comments. Please subscribe. Thank you.